Now we're live.
Welcome back. I had
12 rounds of adrenaline.
12 rounds of adrenaline. I had to change that battery. We didn't bring the battery pack, so we had to change it. And we was talking about, before we got cut off, we was talking about how when we get older, our needs and our wants change. And you said you was partying for a year, and then someone snatched you up.
Yeah, my attorney at the time was John Bergen, and he told me, man, you need to get a job. I went to school to become a PI, passed the class, did all this stuff, and then it ended up being spy my husband, spy my. I'm not a lawyer. That's not my thing.
Spy my wife and my
Yeah,
husband.
I'm not into that. So I just told me, that's at the time that's mostly what it was. I'm not saying all of it, but that's mostly what it was. So then, but when I fought Chavez in Mexico, I ran into a bounty hunter. And John Morgan.
John Morgan.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
from here.
Yeah, exactly. We just happened to be the
Don't
same
ask
place.
me how I know.
We forget. But we happened to meet him there. Not meet him there, we ran into him. And then he goes, hey man, what are you guys doing? Hey, we're fighting Chavez here in a couple of weeks, dude. He goes, I go, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm chasing the skip, trying to do this, that. I go, oh, hey, no. I go, how long are you here for? He goes, I'm here for a minute. I go, sure, well, just keep back with us then for a minute. I mean, you're going to be here for a minute, why not? So I told him, hey man, we'll put you up, we'll feed you, you hang out with us, we'll get you into the fight, get you in the corner, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh man, that'd be awesome. So he stayed, and then at the end of the fight, the next day, he goes, hey man, he goes, if you ever decide to quit boxing, this was in '94, so I didn't quit for a while. So he goes, if you ever decide to quit boxing, man, come look me up, and I'll get you into the Belmont business, man. It's a really good business.
That's how you do it.
And I said, okay. And then I forgot. So 1999, I retired. And I was so 5 years later, I retired, and I go to this PI class, and then I didn't like that. I liked the class; it was great, but I didn't like the job I was getting. So I decided, oh man, Morgan, he told me to hit him up. So I went down to his office, and Leonard Padilla was there. And he goes, hey man, you should start writing double. So next thing you know, I'm going to school. I passed the bell test. And a month later, I'm turning key opening the door.
And your company took off.
Yeah.
And how I knew that is because when you walk in the county jail in the holding tanks, you see all these brochures on the wall, right? And you see old brochures, and his stood out. Tony the Tiger bail bonds. And from that moment on, I knew, because I was there for a long time. All the times I've been there, I never took a deal. I stood there for years. And I used to have people bail out through him. So I knew how much bail that I was bringing him and how much he was probably getting on his own. So I knew you just took off, and you overseen a lot of older bail bonds. I remember one of my distant cousins was cousins with short, scrawny, what's his name? Cuevas.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Cuevas.
Yeah.
And Eddie tried to. So me and Eddie go back, and he tried to get in the music industry because I was in the music industry. He made these posts and stuff. But Eddie was like a little slimy guy. He was like, and he's related to me somehow. And he was like not trustworthy.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what?
I've been knowing Eddie since I was a kid.
But I think in the business, he's okay. He's a good.
He started doing marble top countertops and stuff.
Yes.
And so I really mess with. I like bringing people that I identify with more business. You know what I mean? So I bought him a lot of business when I was in jail. And I knew his company was going to take off because everyone that goes to jail loves boxing. They love fighting. And when you love fighting, we only got one person that's the champion of Sacramento. Of course, they're going to go through it. So I seen your bail company just take off. And it took off fast, huh?
It did, yeah.
And you stayed alive for a long time. Yeah.
Did really well. And then California started changing all the laws.
So how are these bail companies surviving?
I don't know. If I just ran on bill, I wouldn't get it.
Not just straight on bill, so they got to have another source of income.
Yeah, but a lot of these folks are older, so how they really gonna get a job, I'm not saying I'm young, I'm older too, but I'm like a young 60, I'm not afraid to go into their house. Yeah, I'm not afraid to go into their house. I'm not afraid to
you like work.
Yeah, I don't like work.
Yeah.
I've been working hard my whole life. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. It's never
That's
bothered
why
me.
you're young, problems.
It's never bothered me to work to make money.
Yeah.
When someone says, I get a lot of stuff on my Instagram that people say, oh yeah, I got a check for just doing this, this, and this. It's free money for, I got this. They always inbox. I'm thinking,
This
you
is
know,
wrong.
I tell people, I tell them all, nothing's free. That's it. I'm not doing anything. Nothing's free. And once people really understand that and believe it, because it's true, your life will get a little bit easier for you. Because if you understand nothing's free, even if I give you my phone, it's free to you, but it's not free because I paid for it.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere, someone paid for it. So, it may be free to you, but it's not free. It costs. So, and if people understand that, then you understand why, if you take something that's not yours, it's not, because if you get caught, it ain't for you, you're in trouble. So, and that's just the base of how I live my life today. I'm not a scandalous
No, never.
Nah,
I've never
I'm
seen
not-
a scandalous bone in your
yeah,
body.
I'm not
So,
that guy.
so would you say that if you had to put yourself in a category of a giver or a taker, what would you be?
That'd be cool. But let me explain to you. I'm a giver. I'm always willing to give a hand. I'm always willing to give a buck. And don't take that for granted, because if you don't need it, you ain't getting it. I'm that guy that's willing to help the next guy.
And I know that about you because even when we was young, before we even knew the terms of that, being a Christian, I learned giving and taking, right? And all my life I've been a giver, and my mom don't understand it all. She's like, you give everybody everything, and it's like I get a joy from it.
Yeah.
And it's like I can have $200,000 under my doghouse in the backyard from doing whatever I'm doing, and I like giving, or I can have $50 in my bank account, and if someone I know and I even halfway care about you need it, or they need a ride at night, I've always been a giver, and my mom can't understand it. My mom's very frugal. She's very, and that's why she is what she is today, but she's very frugal. She's a frugal person, and she taught my youngest son that. And I thank God all the time how my son is with money, because he makes money, and he knows he don't spend it on unnecessary stuff. He don't spend it on stuff like me and you spend. Like cars and jewelry. He don't buy stuff like that. Me, I like nice things. I like cars. I like jewelry. I like making people happy. And that's why I asked you. I always knew you was a giver because even when we was young, you used to like teach people stuff. Like my younger brother Nick always talks about how you was teaching them how to do body work and stuff. You taught me how to do upholstery. It was like you always took the time out to teach younger people stuff. Just like you just said in the earlier episode, you're teaching an 8-year-old girl how to box. Tony Lopez has been a 3-time world champion. He had bail bonds. He does plumbing, and he's taking the time out to teach an 8-year-old girl how to box. Knowing she ain't gonna become a world champion, but just to take the time out.
I know that.
I know, but I'm just saying that ain't your expectations.
No,
You're doing it because
I'm doing it because she wants to buy.
That's my point. Because you're a giver, and I think all. And I'm not in the astrology and sign stuff. But me and his birthday is one day apart. Mine's the 25th, his is the 24th, right? And I think it comes with when we was born. I think we're just, because a lot of people that I know that are Pisces, they're givers. And a lot of people that are different signs are takers. And I've just always been a giver. I like teaching, I like helping. And people think I'm stupid. I'm very smart when it comes to finances and stuff. But I just like giving, man. It makes me feel joyful.
But see, and then don't get it twisted, because I'm a giver, but there's times when you give too much, and people take it for granted. I'll flip a switch in a heartbeat.
Me too. But when you feel like someone's taking advantage.
No, like watch this. When someone's taking, yeah, you're right. When someone's taking advantage of you, or how do I say that?
When you feel like you gave too much.
No, I give to those that are trying to work for themselves.
Trying to help themselves, yeah.
If you ain't trying to help yourself, don't ask me for nothing, so I ain't got nothing for you. And I'll tell you straight, no, I don't have a problem with that. But if a kid's out in the street corner and he's selling these little cassettes, back in the day it was cassettes.
You will buy them all.
I would.
Yeah.
Because if he's trying to get somewhere, he's doing his little thing.
And he
Let me
ain't
help.
robbing his
Yeah, let me help him out.
That's
You know,
all
if we all did that, it would be a little bit better. It'd make it a little bit better. I ain't saying great, it would just a little bit better. You know, I guess I'm kind of like my dad. You know, maybe not to his level yet, but you know, if you give someone a shot, all he has is a shot, and if you don't give it to him, who will? You can't depend on the next man. Do it yourself. You know that's me. You know, so.
Hey, your dad didn't know.
Battery's in the red right now on the laptop. I don't know. Your battery. It's in the red. You got like.
Hey, so your dad, did he agree? Did he know you? I know he knew Sal was boxing, but did he want you to box?
Nobody did.
Nobody did.
Oh.
You wanted to.
Well, nobody did because I was a mess up. If anybody was gonna mess up, it was gonna be me. And I was that guy in the family. I was the black sheep of the family. So.
Look in there. Here, let me grab it. I don't see how.
You
Go ahead, Tom. You could.
You got 8 minutes.
Okay, I was the black sheep of the family, so if somebody did something wrong, it was probably me. If someone got in trouble, it was me. If somebody went to jail, it was me. If somebody did anything, it was me. And I didn't mind that. You know, I got in trouble for things I didn't do. But I accepted that, and I never complained about it. I was mad about it, but I never complained about it because all the stuff I did get caught. So I figured that was for something I did get caught for. So every time I got blamed for something, got in trouble for something, got to ask for something I didn't do, I just put in my head that it was something that I got away with. It's just a payback. That's all it was. Because what comes around goes around. And that's how I really feel. You know, I don't know. I just think
Plug it in anything.
life is what you make it.
Unplug something.
I don't know. People tell me I can't. I'm going to show you that I will. And that's who I am. That's me. People say you can't do this. I can do anything I want to do. I can do anything that I put my mind to do. Well, watch this. Anybody, if you can, here's that stupid saying that people have been saying for a million years. You got to see it, think it, believe it to achieve it. And it's true. Watch this. There's some truth to that.
Wait, think it, see it.
You have to think, I can be a world champion. I have to envision my head, me winning a world title. I have to watch this, and I believe it. As a kid, I've had this in my head my whole life. I've actually seen myself being raised in the ring with a belt as a kid. And I'm growing up still believing the same stuff that I believed as a kid. And I never stopped. Anytime, you know what saved me? And call it boxing, call it whatever you want. But watch this. The reason why I didn't do real stupid shit, because of my boxing. Because I wanted to win a world title. That was my life goal. You know, even as an amateur, 10 years old, Brooklyn Gilmore was a boxer from way back in the day. Just a good old guy. And he'd come visit me once. He'd visit me at the gym. I'm 10, 11, 12 years old. And he'd come visit me, maybe 15. Come visit me. And he'd go, hey, what are you going to be when you grow up? I go, I'm going to be a world champion. He goes, hey, man, you keep training like you are, and you will. But he was the only person in my life. Everyone else goes, oh, yeah. You know, but he was the only guy that said, you know what, you keep training like that, and you will. Every time. Never doubted me, not once. And so I've always remembered, Brooklyn Gilmore was his name. And I've always remembered, he passed away years ago, but, you know, he was there to see me with my first world title.
He seen it?
He got to see it. And you know, it's so, you know, you can choose to take, oh, well, he said I couldn't do it. They said I can't. Man, shut up. It's positive. It's being positive about who you are. You know, watch this. When I fought Rocky Lopez back in 1988, I tell you what, King Kong wasn't whooping my ass that night. Nobody could. It's true. Because I believe I can do it. I seen it. I visioned it. I worked my ass off to get it, and I achieved it.
And you knew you were going to beat him that night.
And nobody gave me anything because I worked my ass off to get it. And you know, that's really what it is.
I seen Tyson. I watched Tyson hot boxing, and I know you like Tyson a lot. And we're gonna get him on this show sooner or later. We're gonna get him on the show. But he had said something on his last. I don't know if it was his last podcast or maybe the one before. people asked him the same question, who's the greatest fighter of all time? And he said the same thing to you. What era are you talking about? What, I mean, there's no one person that was, but he said that Jake LaMotta and oh my God, not Duran, but before Duran, there was a Mexican fighter, Pepino Cuevas.
Oh.
He said Pepino Cuevas was his, like, look up to God. He said, man, the Mexican fighters back in the 80s and 70s, he said they was like beasts and bulls. And I was thinking to myself, I never liked Duran, but I remember hearing my grandfather always talk about Joe Louis, Smoking Joe Louis, and Pepino Cuevas. And he always talked about them two and Bobby Chacon. And I started thinking, if somebody like Mike Tyson looked up to a Pepino Cuevas or a Roberto Duran, and that inspired him to become what he was, because Mike Tyson was an all-around puncher, fighter, smart boxer, but out of the ring he made some stupid decisions. But the way he fought, at the weight he fought, he was fast. And whoever trained him right. And I'm thinking to myself, here's a African-American fighter out of New York, and he's looking up to these West Coast fighters that are of Mexican descent, and he don't fight like them. Where did he learn the skills from? And it goes back to his first trainer, right? And when you just said that guy told you, keep it up in the gym, and you will become the champ. I'm sure Tyson had somebody telling him that at a young age.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't know this about me. First 3 years of my pro career was Bobby Chacon's last 3 years of his pro career. And here's what I used to do, because I lived with my own, remember I got that.
Yeah, I remember by Johnson.
So I lived by Johnson on my own. I was 17 years old. I was 20 at the time when I turned pro, but I lived there since I was 17. So I started training. When I turned pro, my dad said, okay, let me train with Tony. He'll use styles trainer, which was well-educated at the time. And so my brother was a fighter. He was on the world at the time. And then so I started training with Will and my brother and then Will started training Bob Chacon, who was already at the time a two-time world champion. And I'm fresh in the pro game.
That's who you fight like.
And so
it just dawned on me.
So then here's how my day went. I'll be real quick. For the first year, it was I get up at 4, go run, do all the stuff, come back and be real, go work for a Muddock Spray Company. From 6 to 2:30, get off at 2:30, go read my trainer Will Edgerton at Redfield Field in Sacramento. Then I would drive his Supra from here to Oroville every single day.
Was from, huh?
Every single day. Watch this, we trained in Chacon's back here. Every day. After about the first, maybe a month later, dude, I had my lumps here, my head was sore. He beat the living crap out of me every single day. And one time,
He is horrible.
yeah, oh yeah, and he tore me up. Anyways, every day I'm telling you, every day I got my ass kicked, I thought to myself, I'm coming back tomorrow, I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you. And I really thought that in my head, and because I'm coming back.
You guys were
And you know what? I never missed a day. When he fought, I came 7 days a week. And now, mind you, I still had to get up at 4, go run, go to work, do all of that, and then drive to Oregon every single day for the first year. And Will kept telling me, man, you're learning.
So you spar with him?
Oh yeah, every day. And he didn't play. We went to war every day. So then the second year was a little bit easier. We went to train in Marysville, not Norwood. So which is a little bit closer, like halfway in between. So when I go to Marysville, and in them days, he was getting older, and I was getting sharper, I was getting better. And then, some days he'd be kicking my butt, some days I was kicking his butt. And then the trainer used to tell me, well, used to tell me, you need to take it easy on Bobby today. And then I go, well, if you take it easy on me, I'm not taking it. And the bell rang, we went to war. And guess what? Bobby never took a step back. That fool never backed off one step. And we would fight every day. The third year, we trained here in Sacramento. And that's when the times are really turning, and his age is showing up.
606.
And so, you know, but see, so I trained with a 2-time world champion for 3 years of the first 3 years of my career. I mean, dude, people dream about having stuff like that, you know?
Man, and now looking back, you fight like Bobby Chacon. Bobby Chacon was a fighter, a brawler, and that's how you fight. He wasn't a boxer. He was getting that ring and he would go for it.
Yeah.
And he could take it. I've seen him take punches, man.
So if you don't know who Bobby Chacon is, go on YouTube,
Man,
check this dude.
that cat.
And he fought the great, like, remember the Daniel Lopez?
Yeah.
Who lives in LA today, who's a boy, Danny, when you drop, Danny didn't play, Danny wouldn't win a fight if you dropped him. You dropped him, he'd be able to
Get up.
knock you out. That's just what he did. You know, a lot of the great fighters are from LA.
Do you think getting hit made you box better? Like when you got to fight, like what's some of your easy fights that you had that you know, it was like you didn't have to give 100%. I know you always like giving 100%.
Yeah, I don't think there's any fight I didn't give 100%.
So who was one of your easier fights? I seen that dude you took the belt from, some young white kid. I don't even know if he was white man from Switzerland or something.
Come on, Joey, come on.
You went over there to fight.
Now watch this. Let me tell you something about Joey. I have Joey. There's a shot I have when I hit him. His face is distorted.
Yeah.
That's just one shot. You know, the camera just got it right. I'm sure there's a shot of him hitting me in my face getting distorted, but no one took that shot. But the team they had it in the magazine, the newspaper the next day. And I thought, oh man, that was a great shot. It was just timing on everything. So in stating that, Joey the one. Now Joey, let me tell you something.
He was a boxer.
Dude, call him what you want. Call him a boxer, puncher, whatever. He didn't hit very hard, but he hit you 1,000 times.
I've seen it.
One time, it was 7th, 8th round, something like that. And here's my corner. Here's Joey's. Here's the neutral corner. We're in this neutral corner, and it's like the 6th or 7th round, something like that. And I'm tired, so my hands are going out to take a deep breath, and there's some space between us. I wouldn't do that with 3 posts, you know. So there's some space in between us. Enough room for me to do that. This fool came in and went bam, bam. I guess he hit me with a jab right hand. I never saw it. And by the time my head came back, I started punching. He was gone. I swear to God, I can remember. Like I'm thinking about it right now as we're talking about it. At that moment, I thought, damn, he's still real fast.
But
you know, yeah, but still, I mean, you know, that comes with work, you know. But just because you knock someone out doesn't mean they didn't hit her. Doesn't mean they wasn't fast. Doesn't mean you don't get.
It wasn't an easy fight.
No, there's no such thing as an easy fight. Whenever it says there's an easy fight, even the guy with no punch can punch. Because watch, if I'm bobbing and weaving to my right, and he's throwing a left hook, and I run into it, it's twice as hard.
Yeah.
And guess what? It hurts. So there's no such thing as he just doesn't hit hard. There are some guys that if they hit like this, they just don't hit hard. If nobody's moving. But you know, even that guy that just don't hit hard, can knock you out. Yeah. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. So you know, when someone gets dropped, and you know.
But my question is because I've been watching a lot of all your fights recently because of this podcast, right? And I see how some of the commentators say, "Oh, he's a slow starter. He don't get warmed up." Like they said, Tank Davis was a slow starter, right? And I don't think anyone's a slow starter because you got to think you're training what 4, 10, 12 weeks before a fight, so you're preparing yourself, so you're anxious. But it comes with the mental capacity if you could really hold your mental in the ring and have patience, right? But I seen more than one of your fights where you was relaxed all the time, right? You never seemed nervous to me in the ring. Not one fight. I never seen you nervous. But it seemed like the more you got hit and the more I see blood, the meaner you got. Like the more focused you. No, I don't even want to say meaner. The more focused you got. Like the fight that comes to mind right now is Molina 2.
Oh yeah.
The second Molina fight, the more he hit you, it seemed like you had tunnel vision. You wouldn't miss. And I was like, wait a minute. The more Molina hit you, the more tunnel vision you had, it was like I was in the ring with you. You were so focused, and it was like the Matrix to me. It was crazy.
You know what? Out of all the fights in the world, you picked that fight. Now watch this.
I just watched
Let
it.
me tell you about something. You know what happened to me in that fight?
No.
And I don't know how it happened. I really don't. Because I got a blown ice off.
In that fight?
In that fight, it was all I seen. I remember he threw a right hook. I went down, but I didn't bob all the way under. I went down and came right back up. And I don't think he did on purpose. No, because it wasn't red. Because I seen it. A split second before it hit me. And it was the color of the skin.
Oh, it's elbow.
And it hit me, and it forced my eye back in my socket. Well, it's a socket. It had nowhere, all the muscles had nowhere to go, so it blew a hole in my socket. And so instantly, that was in the second round. I went to my corner. By the time I got to my corner, I could see zero out of the sun. So I went out there for the third round, and I was just making a bubble. He was having a field day. I was like, damn, referees hit me too, But I mean, everybody was keeping my ass. And so I came back to the round, and the referee goes, and we never practiced this in the gym. We never even mentioned it. We never thought it would happen, I guess. And so I'm sitting in the corner. Referee comes to my house. I couldn't see. He goes, close your right eye, your left eye. So I closed it. He goes, how many fingers am I holding up? I can't help you. He goes, how many fingers am I? I couldn't see. Because now in that third round, I got cut over here. So I closed this eye's closed.
You can't see shit.
He told me to close my eyes. So I closed my eyes. He goes, how many fingers am I holding up? I couldn't see. But little Tony, the guy my second man, he was getting me the water, so he tapped me 3 times.
Oh!
3! He goes, okay, you can go.
You never see
I
it.
couldn't see him. So the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round, he beat the living tar out of it. But you know what? I kept thinking, man, I can get that. Because I couldn't see him. When you do it, I do it. Why? He hit me in my arm, my body was vibrating, and it hurt my eyes so bad. It was painful, dude. I mean, I think
that was fight number 2.
Yeah, that was the second fight. And so, but now finally, I think in the 9th round,
it's like you was focused. It's hard.
In the 9th round, he wasn't hitting me. He was tired of kicking my butt. He was tired of whooping. I wore him out whooping, And then the 9th round on the scorecards, I think they said I won the 9th round on the scorecards. And I think they told me that in my corner. They go, man, you won the 9th round. And I'm like, okay, dude. And so the 10th round came out, I'm coming out. And it's still early. I get hit with. I never saw him. I never saw the jabs. You give me 2 jabs ahead of this. The referee comes in and says, okay, it's over. And I'm gonna be honest. So when he did that, I'm like, oh man. But
I was happy.
I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. I really was, and that is no lie.
But you could wait for 3, huh?
Oh, you know what? Well, blow up my eye socket. So I had to go to a doctor here, Nancy Appleglass. She was a ear, nose, and throat doctor. She repaired it. And she pulled my eye out. They cut me here, cut me there. They pulled my eye out. They opened up my gum line from here to here, pulled out my cheek, chipped the bone out of my cheek, put that in my socket, covered it with plastic, threw my eye back together, stitched it up. And she said, that's like a bionic guy, that eye's stronger than your left eye. And she goes, don't get hit in it, but you'll do okay. You'll be okay.
6:15.
I had 6 months to recuperate from that. And then my first thing was to fight him again. And I'll tell you what, on our next episode, we'll finish this conversation on the 3rd fight with John.
Oh, yeah, because I got questions now. I got questions.
Because watch this. It hurt. It hurt really bad. But it didn't hurt enough for me to quit. Because you know why? You don't quit. If you don't quit, you can win. I may not have won that fight, but I won. You see what I'm saying?
Stay tuned
I'm just saying.
For the next episode.
Subscribe.
Monday night.
Like.
12 rounds of adrenaline. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and leave a comment. And we will be back Monday at our new studio. We will be at the new studio, guaranteed Monday. Everything's set up. I just don't have the keys to
He
it.
said that last week.
We're there. We already filmed there, but everything wasn't done. Everything's ready. We'll see you guys next Monday. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you Monday. I gotta show you how to turn this off. So you hit
Yeah, kind of.
in and then in.